Welcome back, everyone. We've got a screencast on geometry measure. We're looking specifically for volume of a cylinder, and this builds on the information that we learned in our last screencast, which was cube and cuboids. We're going to use the same system, the same method to work out the volume of these shapes. So make sure you've watched that. Also make sure you've watched how to find out the area of a circle. If you don't know how to do an area of a circle, you may struggle today. So let's just go back over what volume is. Volume is a measure of the amount of space inside a solid figure. We always express that with something cubed. Remember, we might have 25 cubed. What is a cylinder? Okay, so here's a cylinder. Here's another example of a cylinder. And the key here is that the key here is that the ends are the same size. Can we see that? That this end here, all right, is the same diameter as this end here. If they're not the same diameter, then they won't be a cylinder. It's basically like a pipe. If we think about it like a pipe or a very, very, very straight glass, then we're looking at a cylinder. Alright, so how do we work it out? It's super, super easy. All we do is we work out, just like we did with our cube and cuboids, we work out the area of one of the ends. And then what we do is we times that area by the height of the shape. We're going to need to think about the top like a circle. We're going to need to know the difference between diameter and radius. And we're going to have to know our formula, which is pi times r squared. All right, now pi normally looks like that, times r squared. Okay, and that's the information we're going to use today. So with this one, we're going to have two shapes. The ends are going to be the same, but the heights are going to be different. So that'll be interesting to see how we're going to do it. We're going to draw out the ends like we have here, and we're going to use that information to answer the question. So the first one is area equals pi times r squared. This is this bit, yeah? And what is r? R is 5. The radius is 5. Can we see that? It's half the diameter. So we've got area is pi times r squared. And once we work that out, we're going to end up with area giving us 25 pi. That gives us the area of the shape, and all we're going to do now is we're going to times our answer by 40 to get us the volume of this shape, and we're going to times our answer by 20 to give us the volume of this shape. So let's do that now. 25 pi timesing by 40, and that gives us volume equaling 3,141.59 to do two decimal places, and that's centimeters cubed. And on the next one, we're going to go 25 pi timesing by 20. And we're going to get there when we go all the way through on our calculators. We're going to end up with 1,570.8 centimeters cubed. And it really is as simple as that. Just like we did with cubes and cuboids, we find the base shape area and we times it by the height. The only thing that makes this more difficult is we need to be able to find the area of the circle or the base shape to do that. So what I would like you to do is give these two a go yourself. Remember, try and get the area of the circle. Now these circles are different, aren't they? So make sure that you do a different calculation for both of those. When you get the area of those, you can times it by the height. If you're struggling, I'll do the first one with you, and then you need to pause the video for the second one. But if you're feeling confident, then pause the video now, give them both a go, come back when you think you've got them correct. Okie dokie everyone, here we go on the first one. Remember pi times r squared. So on this one, half the diameter is 4, and that gives us the radius. So we're going to go for pi times 4 squared, pi times 4 squared, which gives us 16 pi. Or pi times 16 gives us 16 pi. So all we're going to do there now is we're going to take that and we're going to times it by our 40. So let's write that over here. Volume equals 16 pi times 40, and that gives us volume equaling 2010.62 centimetres cubed. So definitely, if you didn't pause the video already, give the next one a go on your own. Remember, the only thing that changes is the numbers. So make sure that all you do is change the numbers, everything else stays the same. Here we go, it's time for this one now. On this one, yeah, it's different, isn't it? The diameter is 12, so the radius will be 6. We use that formula again. Area is pi times r squared. What is r in our situation right now? It's 6, so it's pi times 6 squared. 6 times 6 is 36, so it's pi times 36, which gives us 36 pi. We take that area of the base shape and we times it by the height, don't we? So we've got volume equals 36 pi times by 20. We multiply all that through and we end up with 2,261.95 centimetres cubed. Hopefully you got that correct, because now it is time for the quiz. And everyone loves a quiz. Very important you do all of these on your own. If you're struggling, go back and watch the video again, but I think you're going to be fine. Pause the video now and only restart it when you think you've got them all correct. It's time for the answers, everyone. That was the question. Here are the answers. So let's just start with the first line of working. So for the first one, half the diameter is the radius. So it's pi times 6 squared, and then we're going to times that by 30. This one, it's already got the radius there for us. So it's pi times 8 squared times by 10. This one's going to be pi times 5 squared, yeah? And this one's going to be pi times 5 squared as well, because it's got the radius there, not the diameter. Remember, we work that out and then we times it by our height of each of these shapes, and we get our answers, which will appear down below. Fingers crossed you've done incredibly well. I'm sure you have. As always, make sure you spend a little bit of time writing a great revision card on this topic. And again, if you can't be bothered to do that and you're really, really lazy like me, then you can just put us a comment in the comment section below saying you'd like the cards, and I can send you an electronic copy of those. As always, I've loved teaching you guys and girls today. Hopefully you feel a bit more confident. Confidence brings success, and that's what we're all about. Until next time, it's always a pleasure.